The Colosseum was a place where the best of the best threw down to see who would be the last standing. Some contestants came from nothing, just to rise to the top. What if I started with the bare minimum in Elestrals, just enough packs to make a legal deck? I would clash with other casters with the eventual goal of winning a tournament. Every win would reward a single randomized pack to upgrade my deck, with other rewards along the way. Will I be the last caster standing? It's time to enter the Colosseum.
Hey guys, we are back. First game after the win. I'm feeling very excited. We got the crazy upgrades to the deck. We got the Eddy, Coastal List, some other stuff. So we're playing today. We're playing RyBot for these first couple games here, and RyBot's a good friend. He's helped me a lot with testing. He's actually the person who taught me how to play Elestrals first on in the Discord. So big shout out to RyBot. He is on some kind of solar deck here, so he goes ahead and casts out Apollo. Goes first, casts out Apollo using 3 spirits. He foretells 3 there, doesn't hit anything. I think he hit another Apollo and Ambrosia and First Light, I think. And obviously doesn't hit any solar Elestrals there, so doesn't do anything. He casts out an Armadon here in defense. Armadon, great new card from Moonrise. It is a 1 attack, 6 defense. There's kind of a glare on the card right there, so you can't see the defense. But 1 attack, 6 defense, and it has an effect where if it changes battle position, it forces your opponent to expend a spirit. So while it doesn't have a lot of attack, it's pretty hard to get over, and it can force some chip damage off changing position. So after that, he passes it over to me, and I don't have any great options here. I decide to cast out the Jolton here. Thought process here is that can get me to one of the stadiums in my deck and just thin out the deck a little bit, maybe get me closer to a card that can deal with the Armadon, or maybe get me some kind of advantage here. So go ahead and grab one of our stadiums here. And I opt for the Island of Aeolia there. Don't really have a reason for that. I don't think I had anything in hand that would have boosted, so just a little bit of thinning there. And we have nothing else to set, so we just go ahead and pass it back over to RyBot. Looks like he's going to throw out a couple spirits there, and he's going to go ahead and play the Nectar, so we'll get a couple more cards right there. And he opts to cast out a Cockeret, another new card from Moonrise, and then he casts out a First Light. So First Light allows him to stack a solar card on the top of his deck, and then Cockeret has an effect whenever I think it's whenever the First Light is activated, it can just instantly ascend into the Draco-Ray. So he's able to get the bigger one out. And then Draco-Ray also has an effect when it hits the field that it can heal 3 spirits. So he heals up 3 right there, and then he will continue to resolve the First Light. And so he's going to stack a Nebuleo on the top of his deck right there. And it looks like he's getting the solar combos to go off here. He will be able to stack the Nebuleo, and then he can instantly Apollo if he wants to go ahead and add that Nebuleo. So showing off what the solar decks are trying to do here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He disenchants Illuminate from the Apollo, foretell 3. He hits Nebuleo, obviously Nebuleo again, and then the Elechig. So Apollo lets him add 1 solar Celestial to hand. And so he grabs the Nebuleo, puts the other 2 back in any order that he wants. And then it looks like he'll switch the Armadon right there to attack. That's going to trigger the Armadon effect to force us to expend a spirit here. I feel like Armadon's a super underrated card from Moonrise. And then he'll be able to clear the Jolton with the Draco-Ray, which I'll take a damage for from that battle, and then he'll be able to swing in the Armadon for another spirit here. So we're already falling behind pretty quickly in this one. Going through our options right here. I guess my thought process right here is I don't really have anything to deal with the Draco-Ray. However, the Armadon I can deal with. It's only 1 attack, it's pretty small, so with him not having any back row, I can at least cast something to get over the Armadon. So I go ahead and put out the Bubbloon here. Bubbloon gets a +2 attack and defense off of its own effect, so that's able to clear the Armadon. Pass it back over to RyBot. He will cast out the Nebuleo. Nebuleo effect to foretell, so he hits Elichick, a Wenjin, Shield of Achilles, and a Poison Tipped Arrow right there. And so Nebuleo can only add its Ascension line in first light, I believe, so he's not able to add anything there, but he does get to order it in a way that he wants and throw it back on the top. So he knows what the next cards in his deck are. And it looks like he just goes battle here. He's going to clear the Bubloon with the Nebuleo. I didn't realize Nebuleo also has an effect where it buffs itself for every solar enchanting on the board, so even though the Bubloon is at 3, it's still able to easily clear it. And then he will be able to swing for another 2 with the Draco Ray. And so we'll pay out those 2 spirits right there. And we will go here. Draw for turn. See the draw right there I'm leaking a little bit is the Frigicub. Frigicub not able to do a whole lot for us. We really needed the Earthquake. Obviously everyone wants the Earthquake when they're playing Elestrals. But we go ahead and cast out the Giraflora there, just play a little bit of defense. Giraflora, I don't think I had anything big enough here to get over the Nebuleo, but I decided to throw out the Giraflora, and then we had the Foliage Forest in hand. So I put out the Forest, so that will force him to have to swing over, at least on the current board, he will have to swing over the Giraflora with the Draco Ray here in order to clear it, and then he'll be able to swing for one with the Nebuleo. That will save us a spirit instead, or if he was able to clear with Nebuleo and then swing for 2 with Draco Ray. So bit of a long-winded explanation there, but I thought it was the best option. So he has, it looks like probably a big turn incoming here. He goes with the Wenjin, which allows him to name a card and then foretell 3, and then if he hits the card that he names, he is able to special ascend into the Tornadgen. So he actually called PTA right there and hit the PTA. So he adds that card to hand, and then he's able to go ahead and special ascend the Tornadgen from deck. Tornadgen also seems, and Wenjin for that matter, also seem pretty crazy, especially in a foretell deck, because you know what's going to be there. Looks like I jumped into a different channel in the Discord, so apologies for that right there. But back to the game here. Tornadgen allows him to call out 3 cards from his, or pick 3 cards from his deck, and then I think he adds 1 to hand at random. So he throws out an Earthquake, and honestly, I don't know if Tornadgen, well, he throws out Earthquake, Cockray, and what is his last option here? Earthquake, Cockray, and Ambrosia. And then at this point, he flips them upside down, shuffles them, and then I picked one at random. I don't think Tornadgen, I don't know if he has to even show me the cards. I think he might just be able to shuffle and then add one at random. But he places them out. I tell him to take the middle one. That's how we decided to resolve it at this point, and he gets the Cockray from that Tornadgen effect. So he adds that Cockray to hand. And all of that just came off of 1 casted Wenjin. So he casts Wenjin, he adds PTA off of it. Because he hits the PTA, he is instantly able to ascend into Tornadgen, and then off of the Tornadgen also gets the Cockray. So all of that from 1 Wenjin. I feel like, I don't know, I've heard this solar foretell deck isn't too good, but that to me is just absolutely insane. So anyways, it looks like he goes to battle here. He will clear the Giraflora with the Nebuleo. At this point, he has more spirits on board, so it gets buffed higher, so he can clear it with that. And then it looks like he's going to hit me for about 4 right here, so I go ahead and pay out the 4 spirits, leaving us with, I don't know, 6-ish, somewhere around there. Not enough to bring us back in this game. And for turn there, we're leaking a little bit, so you can see I drew the Capricorn for turn. Here we opt to throw out the Core Brawl, just at least see what the back row is. And he shows the PTA there. We knew he added that for a turn, last turn, yeah. So, yeah, nothing we can really do here. He opts not to activate it. He knows he can just clear it easily next turn, so we just pass it back over to RyBot. And at this point, he making more room because, you know, he needs to have more on board here in order to clean up, so he'll cast out another Nebuleo here. He clears with the first Nebuleo, and then I believe he's able to attack for 5 spirits in total here. And so we pay out, yep, the 5 right there, leaving us with 1 spirit, and we draw the Jertagua for turn. We don't even have a water spirit left, so GG's to RyBot for game 1 here. We will get right over to game 2. Alright, here we are running it back with RyBot for game 2. Actually, not running it back. It looks like he is changing his deck. Wants to try something else out. Obviously, we are on the same deck, trying to scrounge together another win to get some more upgrades here. I think here for a couple seconds we were talking about like how bad some of the warping on the cards is. You can see how bad the warping on that Chains of Prometheus is here. And yeah, I think some of the older cards, the Frostfall, I think Frostfall were the worst, but they fixed it a lot now. But it used to be pretty bad. And I was shuffling. I think I show it here in a second, but I kind of set the deck straight up, and you can see like how bad it actually is warped compared to the others. But anyways, getting into game 2 here. Yeah, there you can kind of see like just showing it. It's so bad. Anyways, yeah, we'll get into game 2 here. We are, I don't even know what the record is at this point. 1 in 13, 1 in 14, somewhere in there. We are on a lose-1 streak after losing game 1 to RyBot. So anyways, working our way up to potentially another pity pack. Hopefully we don't get to the pity pack. Hopefully we can get another win in here. Either way, let's get into game 2. I probably will show another deck profile after this. I realized I don't think I've showed an actual like full-on deck profile since like one of the really early episodes. I've showed every change that we've made to the deck, but I need to go back through and just, you know, update on everything that we have in the deck currently. So I'll probably do that after this game. We roll here. I think RyBot, I don't remember what the numbers were, but RyBot beats me again, so he gets the choice on if he wants to go first or second here. And I believe he opts to go first. Also, we're both on the new and beautiful Temple of the Moon playmats. I love how the Phasmocores are right there, just like right next to each other. Just, this mat is sick. It looks so much better in person too. Anyways, RyBot goes first. He throws out a Moss Station and 1 back row, and passes it over to us. Or throws down 2 back row. So I go ahead and throw 1 down there. As you guys know, the one and only counter rune that we have right now is the Chains of Prometheus. So pretty easy to see what we have there. We opt to go with the Drops of Leaf here, so we'll go ahead and throw down the 2 spirits to pay for the Drops of Leaf. I know Drops of Leaf doesn't seem like a great card just because it's expensive. However, I feel like in a deck like ours, it's just really good because it gets us closer to our good cards. So we throw back the Foliage Forest, the Island of Aeolus, and the Bandolin here. Shuffle back those 3. That'll allow us to draw 4 cards here. So hopefully it'll get us closer to some of our power cards. Our Earthquake, our Galaxy, anything that we can use here. Although I don't really think we have much in the deck that can just straight up clear an attack position Moss Station. At least in battle. Obviously the Earthquake clears it, but we'll draw our cards right there. Got some options at this point. Looks like I'm doing a little bit better at leaking the cards. I'm not just, you know, showing my whole hand. You can, if you look real hard, you can probably figure out what some of the cards are, but I tried to mess with my camera angle a little bit, tried to sit it back a little bit more, and it just ended up, it just didn't work. Like the arm that I have my camera sitting on, it did not work, so I just kind of threw it back, and I'm trying to be more aware of it. We go ahead and cast out the Sprouter right there. Sprouter allowing us to search for an artifact. And as you guys know from the end of episode 5, I got my first win, and in that pack we were able to open the Poison Tunic and add that to our collection. So not only do we have the necklace that we can search for, we also have the tunic here. So I go ahead and add the tunic to hand here. And looking back at it, I should have went ahead. I think I just pass it back over to RyBot here. Looking back, I think I actually realized this like the second I passed my turn. I should have went ahead and played the Poison Tunic on the Moss Station. Moss Station's effect is it gets +2 per Earth Spirit enchanting itself, and so it's currently at a 6 attack, and my Sprouter's at a 5 defense. So I should have just went ahead and threw down the Poison Tunic on the Moss Station to lower it to where it couldn't clear the Sprouter. However, it turns out that he has the Scythe of Demeter here anyways. So Scythe of Demeter, really good artifact here. I think it's kind of underrated. It gives the Empowered Elestral +2 attack and +3 defense. And then if it destroys another Elestral in battle, it allows the person to heal, or allows the player to heal an Earth Spirit, and then if Demeter is enchanted, it allows them to heal 2 Earth Spirits. So pretty good card there. He clears the Sprouter on the attack, heals his Earth Spirit back, and then Moss Station effect triggers in the end phase, switching it to defense. So he passes it over. We go ahead and activate Golden Apples of Discord here. He, before I even got to, well, you see right there my discard, I discard the Coastalith. We hit a Gorgon's Gaze out of his hand. It's pretty good for us. And then we, you know, we've resolved Golden Apples incorrectly so many times that we remember to force him to mill. So he mills the 2 Shield of Achilles right there. So actually some pretty good hits for us, some really good counter runes that we get through right there. And so we have the chains on the board. We know we have Poison Tunic in hand here. And the Moss Station is actually in defense right now. So it's a 4/1 base. It gets +2 for each Earth enchanting it. So it's a 6/1 at that point. But then the Scythe of Demeter makes it, what, about an 8 attack and 4 defense. So even though it's a 1 defense naturally, it's pretty bulky with the Scythe on it. So we looks like we just have to pass it back over to RyBot here, and I think I expended a draw. Yeah, we pass it back over to RyBot. He casts out a second Moss Station here and swings both of them for another 2 damage. So we'll go ahead and pay those 2 spirits right there. Send a Leviathan, or not a Leviathan, a Tyratlas and a Zaptor, and we will continue play. And so he's got the one really big crab right here, and then another slightly smaller crab. We go with a weird play right here. We go with a Tornado. And Tornado is a 1-cost Earth Invoke rune, and it allows, or not Earth, Wind Invoke rune, and it allows us to return a rune to hand. And so we've got a few options here. We could hit the Scythe and make him lose the spirits, or we can hit a face down. And so we have to go for a face down right there. And the reason we opted to do that is because you guys know we have the Chains of Prometheus set. So we'll go ahead and get out the Galaxy here. We'll go ahead and throw that out. And he will go with the Gaze right away here. He'll pay the 2 spirits for that, and we just go ahead and shotgun the Chains of Prometheus here. And so he will be able to heal 1 spirit back off of the chains. However, pretty good hit for us right there. We are able to clear the defensive position empowered Moss Station with the Galaxy there. So pretty solid turn for us. I was going back and forth for a minute on whether I should have tornadoed the Scythe, and then I realized, like, oh, if I just, you know, get rid of a face down, change the second face down, then he's going to lose the Scythe anyway. So I think we made the right play there. He will be able to clear our Galaxy here. However, we forced him to lose a lot of spirits last turn. So he will opt for an expend to draw right here. He will go ahead and cast out a Demeter. And try to figure out how many to enchant to it. Looks like he initially wanted to enchant 3. I think he backs it down to 2 after a quick spirit count here. Yeah, he throws 2 on, puts 1 back in the spirit deck. So we got Demeter enchanted with 2 Earth Spirits right here. We know he's going to be able to clear our Galaxy with the Crab. I don't think he can cast at this point because he expended a draw. He opts to throw down a face down, probably the one that we returned with Tornado last turn, and then he goes to battle and clears our Galaxy. So go ahead and pass play back over to us with an open board here. And depending on what that face down is, we might be able to clear that Crab pretty easily. It attacked, so it's over to defense with a 1 defense. And so just about anything gets over it depending on what the face down is. So we go ahead and throw out the Sluggle, the 2 attack Sluggle. We heal our 3 spirits here off the Sluggle effect, 3 water spirits that is. And then the tiny Sluggle will try to get over the Crab, and in the damage step, or battle step I think is the correct term, he will alter here, nexusing a spirit from the Demeter to the Moss Station, able to change it to attack, and that means our tiny little Sluggle will die to the massive Crab, and then we will have to take a spirit for battle damage here. So that was probably worst case scenario for us, but I feel like in our deck we had to take the chance there. We had to try to kill the Crab. So we'll pass it back over to him, back on an open board. He casts out the Sprouter right here, and he is able to search for an artifact, and he grabs another Scythe right there. So Scythe, like I went over Scythe earlier, it's a pretty crazy card. Sprouter also a pretty crazy card, 3/5, and it allows you to search any artifact. I feel like Sprouter is another very underrated card. So he'll go ahead and add that to hand. Looks like he instantly casts it. I think it's enchanting the crab. Yeah, enchanting the Moss Station. And it looks like he will go ahead and attack with both, forcing me to expend 3. The crab's effect will force it to defense in the end phase. And, sorry, hit the mic right there. Hope that didn't sound too bad. Over to us. We're pretty low on spirits here. Not a lot to work with here, so not too sure that we'll be able to come back in this one. Going through the spirit deck right here, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. You guys will be able to obviously see the numbers, spirit numbers on the screen. The Scythe really just makes this a tough matchup. Like the Scythe makes the crab really good because, I mean, 4 is not the best, but it makes it very respectable. Very hard to get over 4 still. So I think we had some potential stadium plays in hand here. However, we don't have the spirits to make those spirit plays or those stadium plays work. So we go ahead and cast out the RyNymph here, leave it in defense. That's a 5 defense, so the Sprouter can't clear it. I want to say we had the Island of Aloia in hand. We only have one Lycaris in spirit deck, and we obviously used it earlier for the tornado. So even if we were able to cast out the Island of Aloia, we don't have, like, we can't misenchant another Elestral to give it an attack boost to get over the 4 defense on the crab. So, unfortunately, not able to do anything there. RyBot goes, he casts out the Rummagem right here, activates the Rummagem effect. Rummagem allows him to search and add a 1 Spirit Earth Elestral to hand. So he grabs the Viscerus right there. Or no, he was going to cast the Viscerus, and then RyBot, the biggest Panzer fan that has ever existed, opts to grab the Panzer right here. I know Panzer's a solid card. I just love giving RyBot crap for it because he's just a massive Panzer fan. Thinks it's one of the craziest cards in the game. So he'll go here. He switches the Moss Station back to attack, clears the RyNymph, and then he's able to swing for another 2 damage right here from the Rummagem and the Sprouter. And then also because he cleared the RyNymph in battle, he is able to heal off of this Scythe, but because Demeter is also enchanted on the board, he's able to actually heal too. So pretty crazy combo he's got going right there with the massive crab. I think the crab is actually at like 10, yeah, because it's got 2 enchanting Earths now, so it's actually 10 attack. Anyways, RyBot passes it back over to us. We're kind of in the same position where it's like, okay, we can try something stadium here, but the only stadium we have at this point is Foloi, which obviously buffs all of his stuff too, so even if we misenchant something with another Earth here, which looks like we do opt to do, the Pandolence being the 4 attack, 1 defense, it just doesn't matter at this point. We have the Tunic in hand, you guys know that from earlier. Tunic reduces attack by 2, and then if that Elestral that it's empowering is destroyed by battle, it forces the owner to expend 2. Obviously doesn't do, you know, it does something here, but it doesn't do enough here. So we're able to clear out the Sprouter, and then we just kind of show our hand right there, the Core Brawl on the Island of Aloia. RyBot takes game 2, and he has to throw out the Pansy here and flex a little bit because, you know, biggest Panzer fan ever. But anyways, GG's RyBot. That's a streak of losing 2 in a row now, and so we are well on our way to another pity pack. Alright guys, here we are. I did want to go ahead and show like another complete deck profile. I know, like I said earlier, we've showed all the changes that we've made to the deck as we open the packs. However, we haven't showed like an actual complete deck profile in a little while. So just going to kind of show that off here. You guys know we've opened 2 pity packs at this point, 1 water, 1 earth. And that makes up the core of our deck, really. We're kind of on like a weird water, earth, beatdown kind of style deck right now. I wouldn't necessarily call it beatdown because we haven't really beat anyone down with it, but that's kind of where we're at. So anyways, we've got the Core Brawl here, Sluggle, Galaxy, Porcutide, Bubloon, Jurtagua, Eddy, and Narpoon. Pretty good cards here. A lot of the best cards in the game, actually. However, not as good when you don't have the rest of the supporting cast around them. For our Earths, we've got the Sprouter, the Paleoth, the Mudlet, the Mostacean, the Rummagem, Cyprong, Giraflora, Rummagem, Panzer. I actually think we have the 3 Rummagem here, so we got the complete playset of Rummagem, which is actually pretty good. It's a bit slow, but obviously consistent. It gets us into everything else in this pile here, so pretty solid overall. And we've got RyBot's MVP right here, the Panzer. So that's our Earth package. Yeah. We've got our rest of the other Elestrals, 1-cost Elestrals that we play. So we've got the Rhine here for some defense. Pandolins here, not going to do us a whole lot, but even if we don't resolve the effect, it's a 4-1. It's pretty decent. Jolton to search out our stadiums. Verotuka, which what kills the attack position. When this attacking Verotuka enters battle with an attack position Elestral that has equal or fewer enchanting spirits, suppress and destroy it. So pretty decent. Doesn't do battle damage when that happens. However, that can let us get over some stuff in some situations. And then we've got the Chilatl and the Frigicup here. Frigicup not doing a whole lot. It's just, it's big. Chilatl, I think, can come in handy in some situations until we get something better. So those are the 1 costs that we're working with here. The 2 drops that we're working with, the Coastalith, the freshly pulled Coastalith. I still think this is a pretty bad card. However, it's possible that we cast it out with a Galaxy and it becomes a great card in that scenario. So got the Coastalith in here, the Caprigol, the Neandersloth, the Javalantis, and the Zephyrog here. So we got 5 Ascensions right here, most of them being water, obviously, the 1 earth. We've obviously been into the Neandersloth. I think we got into the Caprigol once. We've been into the Neandersloth, and this thing is actually a freaking tank. It forces your opponent to discard 2 when it destroys an Elestral in battle. It's just, it's really good if you can get it on the board. So for our kind of deck, it will be in here for a while. And then you can kind of see the rest of the rune lineup here. We've got the Chains of Prometheus as the only counter, the only artifacts being the Necklace of Harmonia, Poison Tunic here. The Invoke runes, we got the double Golden Apples, the Drops of Leaf EQ, and Tornado. And then to round it out the stadiums, we've got the Volcanic Forge, the Fullway Forest, and the Island of Aeolia. So actually, that's kind of what we were working with here. I did go through the collection, the other cards that we pulled, and with RyBot, and one of the things that he pointed out to me was Toxiswarm should definitely be in our deck. We've only have 1 Lycaris in the deck, and we have 3 cards that need it, being the Verotuka, the Tornado, and the Island. However, if we get the Island at that point, only having the 1 spirit, Wind Spirit Lycaris, the Island becomes just a specific stadium removal spell or removal rune in that instance, because we can't cast anything else with Lycaris to get the buff. So we actually are going to take out the Island of Aeolia here, and we are going to throw in the Toxiswarm in place. The Toxiswarm is a 4-1, so obviously it's just big. Even if it's misenchanted, it's just big. However, if it's correctly enchanted, when it receives 1 or more wind spirits, it forces the opponent to expend a spirit. So that burn could actually come into handy. So we're going to go ahead and take out the Island of Aeolia here, and we're going to throw in the Toxiswarm in place. So that takes our, let's see, we've got 10 runes. We've got 5 Ascensions here, so it takes us to 25 Elestrals. So, or 25 1-cost Elestrals, that is. So a lot of Elestrals, however, only opening very few packs. You are not expected to get a lot of playable runes. So anyways, this is where the deck is at this point in time. I will try to be better at giving actual deck profiles when we make changes to the deck. That way you guys can kind of see everything that we're working with here and get a better picture. So anyways, thanks for watching episode 6. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I guess I should probably at some point start bringing up the like and subscribe stuff if you guys are into that kind of thing. If you're having a good time watching these videos, that'd be very appreciated. So anyways, we will catch you guys in episode 7. Thank you.